Texas Congressman and former White House physician, Dr. Ronny Jackson. Dr. Jackson, thank you so much for being with us. Look, it's the government's business to know whether or not you're vaccinated. Let's make a door-to-door push. You combine this with recent comments and pushes to have private businesses mandate vaccines. What's the role of the government, and for that matter, private businesses, in dictating the health decisions of Americans?
Well, it's absolutely will. It's not the goal of the government. It's not the job of the government. It shouldn't be the goal of the government to mandate whether or not we get this vaccine. Let's not lose track of the big picture here. Let me just start by saying I got the vaccine. I looked at my own personal situation, decided my risk benefit, and I got the vaccine. Other people should have it. It should be a personal choice for every single American. Let's not lose sight of the fact that this is still an experimental vaccine being used under emergency use authorization. The federal government does not have the right to tell Americans that they have to get this vaccine, and it's none of their business who's had it and who hasn't had it. This is just another government overreach. This fits right into the narrative that the Democrats do everything else with, the socialist, Marxist, communist way that they want to control your lives, and I'm absolutely opposed to that.
Yeah, you made a personal, Congressman, risk-reward analysis for your own health, your own cost-benefit analysis. That doesn't make you an anti-vaxxer for saying that other people should be able to go through the same cost-benefit analysis. By the way, Becerra clarified his comments after the ones we just heard. He said, some comments I made today are being wildly taken out of context. To be clear, the government doesn't have a database tracking who is vaccinated. We're encouraging people to step up to protect themselves and others by getting vaccinated. It's the best way to save lives and in this pandemic. But this push, this pressure, Congressman, it's not just a cycle, but it seems to be a never-ending trail we're headed down, because Pfizer's now seeking a new authorization for a third COVID-19 vaccine dose, saying it could boost protection against, of course, the Delta variant. So is this a yearly thing? New variants, new boosters, year after year, this is the pressure, this is the push, this is how we stay healthy?
That's the issue. We don't know yet, and we shouldn't be making determinations about requiring a booster, a third shot, until we know the answers to those questions. And quite honestly, Will, I'm not comfortable with the pharmaceutical companies and the company that manufactures the vaccine being the one that decides that. We need the FDA, the NIH, the CDC, other independent academic institutions to do the research and to do the studies and find out how long we're immune after we get the two shots.
Right.
And all indications early on were that we might have lifetime immunity from this. And so I do not want the people that profit the most from making this vaccine to be deciding whether or not we need boosters. I don't think that's a good way to go. I think there's a lot of problems with that. And I don't see any evidence right now that a booster, that a third shot is needed. And I doubt that we really will see that.
Well, that profit you mentioned there, that's not highlighted enough, how big a business this is going to become for Big Pharma, who, by the way, has complete liability protection as well. So, Congressman, Doctor, you have titles. I don't know which one takes precedence here, but they're all worthy titles here. Congressman Dr. Jackson, you're speaking today, or this weekend. No, it's today at CPAC. What do we expect to hear from you?
Well, we're going to talk today a little bit about who's really running things in the White House, and I think that's a big question. I'll probably hit a little bit on some of the cognitive issues that we're seeing with President Biden, but that's going to be a big part of what's really going on behind the scenes in the White House, who's pulling the strings and who's really making the decisions. So we'll talk about that. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about the culture and how we can become advocates and how we can get out there as conservatives and really make a difference in this midterm election and train ourselves as conservative activists. And so we're going to have a discussion about that, strategies for that.
Well, I want to hear that. I think the culture is definitely where everything is the battleground. It's the battleground where everything is being fought. So we'll be listening.
Absolutely.
Congressman. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.
Take care.